What is up, Static Gamers? Kokijimente. I here today with a little talk on a video. We're getting into some Halo. So, today's topic is actually going to be about why I got mad at Halo 5, why I uninstalled it, and despite being such a Halo fan, I would buy freaking replicas. I don't know where my Magnum is right now, but that was right here. I would buy literally fucking replicas of the weapons that I use in Halo. This is actually my official skin within Halo 5. Same for this thing. I want to talk about exactly what has actually got me, upset on some of the things that I've been going about. And some of the things that, just Halo. I mean, first of all, it's been a while since I've done a video about Halo, so I figured it was time that I get into one and some things. But before we get into talking about Halo here, I wanted to mention some things that. Sorry about not uploading a little bit. I'm trying to do one every other day, so it's been 2 days. I should have had a video out this morning, and I didn't get to it because I had to factory reset my computer. And I was going to do an Xbox game. This thing contains my Roxio on it, the Roxio program, and I can't get this thing to pop up on my computer. I had to factory reset my computer, so I'm actually working with a brand new installed version of OBS here that I'll be working with. But hence why there's going to be no gameplay footage of Halo while I'm at it. So essentially what is going on with me right now is I'm kinking everything out. Actually, at this current moment, ladies and gentlemen, I want to actually show you something real fast. I need to get my display capture here. Add, and boom, here we are. Here's my channel. I wanted to mention this to you guys that I'm going to pause the music as soon as this thing loads up. I now have a gaming website, or I guess you could call it a gaming website. What I'm going to be, if it loads, it may not. What's basically going on right now is I am downloading Halo 5's Halo 5's Forge here. Here's the website. It's taking a minute to download for whatever reason, I do not know. But basically, this is now my community website for this channel. I'm going to start trying to use this a little more often for various different things. The page is slowly loading in because I don't know what's with my internet right now. But on here, this is going to be everything done for 3-in-1. I have the About Us, contact if you need to contact me. And then you can join us by an email, which whenever I get products sent for fan stuff, tournaments that you can win prizes in, or just in general shout outs and stuff like that, or questions, having a poll vote, you guys can subscribe to the email and get email notifications. I've already have a few of my fans notice this and do it already. I have a link to my social links on the side here. Anything that is mine will be a link there. I have Google Plus, Twitter, and my YouTube channel linked onto here right now. I currently don't have any tournaments available other than the one which is about to conclude, which is this Minecraft tournament here. If you guys want to see the results, you can come check it out here. This is not the final roster. I haven't updated it yet, and we'll be getting to that here shortly. And so yeah, welcome to 3-in-1 Static's website. I'll be eventually, hopefully, adding a members area and stuff like this. We'll see how things turn out and go. So those are the announcements for this video. So now we're going to go into talking about Halo. This baby right here. Where should I begin? I'll start with that last video I did about me kind of pissed off at Halo and uninstalling Halo 5. I did mention a few things and reasons why I did this in that video, and I just have a lot of reasons behind why I don't enjoy Halo 5 as much as I like, and the fact that I'm actually installing Halo 5 Forge. I'm going to go ahead and resume the download while I do this, because the sooner it's done, the better. But basically, what is going on with that is I was, playing matches on Halo like I normally do. In Halo 4, I had no problems, etc., etc. And then Halo 5 kind of came along, and um, it was just kind of an upsetting, pissed off. I enjoyed what they did with Halo 4. I loved the setup that they were going for, and they didn't go with that setup. So it was kind of upsetting that I kind of felt a little betrayed on Halo 5, like the campaign or story wise. Uh, as a community, like all of us together, I can believe we all agree on the same thing for the community. What 343 has done, what we're doing, trying to do about it. But basically, um, I got mad at Halo 5 one day because I got tired of the online only causing me issues and moments that I'm not the only one here. Because I know I don't suck. I can easily pull up footage from Halo 4 of me doing really well in Halo 4, Halo Reach, where I really have. But as soon as Halo 5 hits, I can't do it. It was pissing me off. I was getting upset at myself, thinking, okay, it's maybe just the mechanic. But after 6 months of it being the same shit over and over, it pissed me off. Like, Halo 5 essentially probably the best multiplayer that there is out there, but the things they implement into it just create so many different unfair advantages, I think, that they didn't really come to think about. One of them is being the sprint mechanic, the way it works within Halo 5. Now, I don't have a problem with sprint. I think it should stay in Halo, but I think the way it happened in Halo, I just do not think it fits well. And that has to do with when you are sprinting, your shields will not charge. That sprinting mechanic really pisses me off, and I bet a lot of the players why they think sprint should not be in Halo is because of that mechanic. Halo 4, it fit really well. It felt smooth, where you could sprint, but you can only sprint for a limited time unless you had the ability to where you can sprint, all the time you want. There shouldn't be no shield dampering to any Spartan for whatever reason. And I don't think that the inability to stall while you're sprinting makes any sense. It's like, well, what's going on? Is it taking the suit's power, or to stop it? Like, if that's the case, why doesn't it do it in campaign? Like, in campaign, you could sprint, sprint, and sprint, and your shields are still charged. That's one thing that pissed me off, is why is the multiplayer not linear to campaign? And that's one reason I got pissed at Halo, is because my fighting style with a Halo was ruined because the way I work, and it works really well once you get the hang of how I did it. It took a lot of practice to get there. I'm a run in, run out type of guy, get in, get out type of guy. Basically saying, well, for an example, when it comes to Grifball, I'm perfectly fine. That's why I enjoy Grifball and Halo 5 still, and essentially that's like the only one, and even Breakout, like. But of course, like, those are the only game types I feel like really fit with the mechanic of Halo 5 currently. But even in Grifball, the shield charge normally, like they're supposed to, and that's just one of my issues that I've had with it. With like the mechanic of the multiplayer wise. Another one is the thrusters and the Spartan charge and ground pound. I don't think nobody uses ground pound for one, so like every so often you do, but it's not an often thing. Maps aren't aerial like um for instance, like Plaza from Gears of War Judgment or something like that. There's not level areas to make it worth using, so people rarely use it. It's like one of those abilities that really have no purpose to it. Because half the time you can't use it. Though you can jump up and use it at any point in time, it's no different than a dumb melee. By that time, that person just shot several shots into you, and like there are effective ways of using it, but it's rare. It's a rare occurrence. And then the thrust, I mean, it's been there from Halo 4, Halo Reach, but the difference was it was an ability, not that just anyone had it. It was something you had to pick up on the battlefield or start with in a loadout. That way, not you can't not everyone can always have it at every moment in time. Halo 5, I like the fact that you can thrust and maintain your mobility. That's a cool thing about that feature that I like about the thruster pack. But what I don't like about it, maybe it would be a little more balanced if when you do thrust, you cannot take damage during that period of time. As Evade was that way, and Thrust Pack in Halo 4 was that way. But instead, they chose to change that, and in my opinion, it really hindered my gameplay because sometimes I rely on that last minute get to cover, and sometimes it doesn't work because one, A, my internet lags, or B, it's just whatever reason, and that's another problem I had was with the online only crap. Now they kind of eliminated lag. I give them that, but I've never missed lag more than in my life. I'd rather deal with Halo 4 lagging, skipping across the map than being kicked out of a match just because I lag 1 inch. It pisses me off. Then they'll ban you for it for almost a day when it happens. And essentially that's what ultimately got me to hate Halo 5. Why I uninstalled it is because that happened to me. My internet hasn't changed or anything since I've gotten it, and every other game on Xbox One runs fine for me. Something with Halo 5, it just doesn't like online only. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It just doesn't work well with me. Even with Forge and stuff like that, it's hard for me to forge. That's why I'm installing it on my PC. That way, hopefully, things will run better for me. I'd rather going that way in that direction. I really hope in the future they get rid of online only, bring split screen back. Even if it's up to just 2 people, I just really hope they do various things. I want them to keep Forge and custom games the way it is. It's something I've enjoyed. But those are just kinks. As a community, that's not the only reason we're mad at Halo 5 or got mad at Halo 5. Because we can state, no matter whose side you're on, Bungie or 243, we're mad at Halo. Like, either way, they're doing some things that all of us aren't exactly proud of that they're doing. Some of it we are, but not a lot of it. Like with the broken theater mode and stuff like this. And after a while, I started, getting into all this drama. Like, Halo's surrounded by drama, and I wanted to get myself away from it because apparently drama is becoming a thing in Halo, and I'm not a drama person. I come home to come play Halo to relax, not to come to a stressful matchmaking match in Halo, and that's what it's becoming, is competitive. Even though I am a competitive player, we people who are competitive, even though if we're pros and stuff, we gotta have our moments to relax too. It's basically almost as if we can't play Halo to relax. Now we have the MCC. I've gone back to the MCC because it's there, but even then there's limited connections and things and stuff. And essentially, after all this time of looking at other YouTubers like the Actman, Halo Follower, and all that, I've been coming to a conclusion as I've learned how the community's working, the development issues Bungie 343 had to face with, and stuff like that. I'm beginning to think that Microsoft is the main pitcher to blame here. Why Halo's going wrong. Before you start rambling in the comments, yes, 343 and Microsoft are different. They are not one and the same. One operates under the Underbuy contract. You can look this up, that 343 is only a small branch within Microsoft that Microsoft owns officially due to contract purchasing their contract. Unlike Bungie bought a contract from Microsoft instead of Microsoft buying 343's contract, which 343 upheld to inherit the Halo franchise. What happened here, I have to explain this before I get into why I think Microsoft is to blame, is that Bungie back in the beginning of Halo was basically just like a small studio looking at, we need a big producer, this console we see proof. So they bought a contract, what was it? 10-year contract or something like that. I think it was a 12-year contract. Games they produced would be released on Xbox by Microsoft, while they may control absolute control of the game. So Bungie never had the issue to worry about Microsoft forcing, this, that, and this, other than what the contract had said. So essentially, that's why Halo wasn't released every year at the time. It took, I think, from Halo Combat Evolved to Halo 2, it was 2 years. From Halo 2 to Halo 3, it was 4. And then they kind of sped up as they were doing knockoff games, because Halo 3, was a collective. Essentially, all the problems that Bungie faced was just making their studio bigger and stuff like that to be able to, accomplish for Halo fans. And they managed to do just that with the money they were making and the support they were getting from Microsoft under this contract. Well, when Halo 3 was completed, they had 2 games left, so they decided, let's make some knockoffs of some Halo history that we think we should be told. We'll end with Reach, as that's what started the Halo franchise, So I thought that was a good outro to Halo. Other than Halo 3, I loved Halo 3 OST as well. Anyway, they did those 2 final knockoffs, basically. And Symbiosis did Halo Wars. And the games were fairly good because Bungie had control over the franchise as a whole, as Microsoft had little to no to any of the development. The contract stated once the contract expired, Bungie could continue the Halo franchise, but under Microsoft's jurisdictions. Essentially, what they decided to do was go ahead and say, let's do Destiny. And this is where 343 started getting involved, late Halo Reach. As a matter of fact, part of the things that happened in Halo Reach was 343. And if you all enjoyed Reach, well, that's partially 343's game, as they helped at the last minute develop part of the multiplayer stuff and a few updates. I think they were the one who did the TU update, something like that. I can't quite remember, but Bungie was planning to pass on through Microsoft to Halo to 343. It was being planned to continue, as Bungie wanted to continue, but the group as a whole, the majority of the group said, I want to do this, that, and this. And so that's why Bungie had a bit of drama within them with the development of Destiny, while some Bungie members went to 343 and some 343 went to Bungie. It was just crazy jittery at that time. But they got everything solved out, and at this point we were all like, okay, 343's new, can they produce a Halo game? They produced Halo, and I have to say, even if you say Halo 4 sucks, there's no denying that we enjoyed the campaign. It was good. The fact that you played through it to the end means you enjoyed some aspect of it. There's no denying it. The fact that, now, for the people who didn't play the campaign at all, who refused to buy Halo and said it sucked, you have no place to speak, as you didn't try the game. As a matter of fact, in the whole Halo franchise, if any game that you should try, it is Halo 4 for the campaign, not really the multiplayer. I admit the multiplayer wasn't the best, but it was still good. Essentially, what Halo 4 became, what fans were expecting, this good, better game than Halo 3 and Halo Reach. But it was 343's first game, and for their first game, they did phenomenal. Like, almost how phenomenal Bungie did for the first game with the first Halo. It was bare bone, but it was cool. And Halo 4 was basically that, with various reasons for certain things they did, which was understandable, which I can understand, which is why a lot of people said we're giving Halo 5 their last chance, because, it is their first game. Well, I think Halo 4, they proved they could do a campaign, and in Halo 6, they could prove to do a multiplayer. Halo 5, they could do multiplayer. Halo 6, they should have no reason to do both and add extra. That's just something I think they should have done in the beginning, but it is a lot of weight on their chest just to drop Halo on somebody that doesn't know how to produce Halo. And that's something the community is kind of lost after a while. Some of them are beginning to realize it, such as myself, which is why I have a shame for lashing out at 343. I do have a post on Waypoint and stuff about this stuff where I'm talking about, and people are getting angry at me, but I'm like, dude, here, check this link, and I started pointing fingers at Microsoft, just like some other people were. I'm not the only one in this boat. I started watching a lot of YouTuber stuff to see what drama was actually going on in the Halo community. Trying to think to myself, is the Halo community really done? Is Halo 6 going to be the last Halo? and I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I don't think Halo is far from gone. Right now, it is going down a path similar to Medal of Honors, but it's not irreversible at this point. It can be reversed. 343, I think at this point, realizes they need to cater to both sides of the community. Now, for those of you Call of Duty fans, you basically got no true say to Halo. Like, as the sprint's better, the sprint charge is better. For those of you who refused to play the first game just because it wasn't like Call of Duty, do you guys have no say, like, at all, even under the terms that experience outranks everything? Because people like the Ackman, Late Night Gaming, Halo Follower, Game Cheat 13, the list goes on, Plasma 167. Horizon Entertainment, CCS Media Design. There's many YouTubers out there that have been a part of Halo since almost day one, that essentially their voices should be the voices heard before anyone, because they know essentially what Bungie did, what development issues they had to go through, and what 343 can actually do to put into the game to make, Halo great again. Essentially, it isn't about, oh, I think sprint should be removed, this, that, and this. It's not about that. It's about how they're going about doing it, Like, these mechanics don't fill Halo. Like, they're changing everything from the shoot more, fast gameplay, when the Halo has this specific style of, it is fast gameplay, but it's also slow. Like, Halo 3 is an example. Small maps, fast gameplay, or big maps, fast movement, fast gameplay. And they don't do either of these, not in Halo 5. Like, it's kind of a mixture of both. That's why in Halo 4, Haven played extremely well. It's actually one of my most favorite maps within Halo is Haven. Not the best, but it fit the mechanic of Halo 4 very well, and I can't wait to take a look at it in Halo 5. And maybe if I download Halo 5 again to see how well it plays in Halo 5. But essentially, I'm pretty downright sure that these people who have been around for years understand Halo's development issues more than anyone out there. Some people don't listen to these people, they're a piece of shit, Even Red vs. Blue has come out and said something, and, these other YouTubers who are passionate about these games that they play. And I know a lot of Call of Duty people coming to play Halo 5, and because some of them are realizing it's getting recognized by tournaments, but is it really worth it having these tournament things if you're going to lose your community eventually? I don't think so. Essentially, I think what they're going to do with Halo 6 is kind of a mixture of both the good and the bad now, because they kind of realize where things are going. With Halo 5, everything that went in, I blame Microsoft for a lot of issues. One, they own the Halo franchise, not 343. 343 was put in place by Bungie or by Microsoft to run the Halo franchise. Their 343 was like, okay, well, this plan is what we're going to do, and Microsoft's like, okay, this is good. This first game, it came out fully fleshed, well, good, and Microsoft heard us loud and clearly and said, we got to change this. And so Xbox One came out, and they were developing what they could do for Xbox One. Well, they realized when the trailer started releasing that fans were saying, you can't make Chief a traitor, you can't do this, and Bungie or 343, was like, give us a chance, but Microsoft was like, nope, rewrite, and you can get a rough time span on how much time they had to rewrite, as it was the trailer that basically a year before Halo 5's release that showed it was the trailer with Locke and Chief, that one. Which was almost a year before Halo 5's release, was when the rewrite essentially happened. They got the backlash mostly then. So they had a year to rewrite the Halo 5's campaign, and I think with what a year they had, that's why it was shit. Like, we only got one third of what we were supposed to get because of this rewrite. Microsoft damned it to be so. They were so desperate to have a game released on time than to having it completed. like other games such as Fallout and stuff like that. Like other games have proven taking time with your games is more worth it than yearly releases. Squeeze out a couple bucks. And essentially right now, I feel like Microsoft is getting money hungry, and essentially that's what they're doing, is they're trying to force and squeeze out a couple of bucks out of people. And I'm getting to hate that more than anything. Halo 5 is turning it into a pay-to-play with their, you can do this, you can pay this much to get this now, or you can play Hours of No Life to get this. And essentially, doing the Hours of No Life to get this is kind of an insult and discouraging the players who, like me, want to play, but they can't because they don't have this shit unless they no life their life, which then they're basically just calling us a no life, and they're trying to do it to think we have to buy to play, and though you don't have to, for people who can't play 24/7 like some little kid at home that doesn't go to school, the rec point system isn't enough to keep up with Warzone players who do pay to play, and it's generating an unfair advantage, and it even brings it into the multiplayer aspect with a bit of this XP kind of stuff and blah blah blah. But the multiplayer is slightly different for the matchmaking type of thing. Like in the matchmaking, what it would do for me, it was unlike Halo 3, for instance, in the ranking system. Halo 3 took a long time to bump you up in the ranks. So that way you could, get used to playing with players at these levels that are kind of pushing you towards your limits. Halo 5 is set, you win first place in a match, it'll bump you up an entire XP rank and say, okay, now you're playing with diamonds. You beat that diamond. Oh, now you're playing with diamond 2. You beat that. Oh, now diamond 3. And this is if you get first place every time. It goes up an entire rank unless you're getting fourth or last place. Now, everyone's going to play to win, correct? Well, what essentially happens when you feel good about finally beating these people who are tough for you, it puts you in people who are even tougher. Like, it doesn't limit itself to where you can go. So, essentially, 1 minute you're playing someone who isn't MLG to somebody who is, where you just cannot keep up completely. And 1, it will hurt your KD. 2, you don't get the experience you need to keep up with the players you fought with before, which is something that is stressing about Halo, is that it feels like a teeter-tot amongst the ranks on the competitive rank. Now, that's because it is competitive. I understand that. But the fact is, they need a social rank or limit the ranking. If it is all going to be ranked, they need to limit the ranking system a little bit. And stuff like that. Now, I heard some things about the ranking system where if someone's a silver 1 and someone's a diamond 1, what to do to prevent unfair advantage, they'll search all diamond 1s. Well, that silver person isn't going to have a fun time at all. I've noticed with my friends rage, and it's just, it makes Halo unplausible. Essentially, I just don't like it. This ranking system. The way I think it should work is if there's someone who's health unranked, it should search for that one other person who is unranked, to even out the teams. Not search just for diamond 1. You think it could make unfair advantages. But imagine this. Right now the current system is like this. You have a diamond 1, 3 silvers for a team of 4. Other team, all diamonds and like onyxes. The fuck? That's how it is for me every match. I don't know about anyone else, but I look at that and that's how it goes. The way it's supposed to be is if you're unranked, say you have 1 unranked, 1 silver, and 1 gold and 1 diamond, the other team should be 1 unranked, 1 silver, 1 gold, and 1 diamond. It should be exact same to create fair advantages so players can play on strategy and skill more than odds. Like, Halo 5 is turning into a chance of odds. And the fact that in the multiplayer, I understand they're looking for connectivity issues too, but even with the connectivity stuff, it's just a mess. Like, it is a complete mess. There's just no way to calmly go play Halo without playing these game types that nobody probably truly fully likes. I like Halo 5. I like its Forge and custom games. And I hear they're going to be adding a custom game search thing where you can search for people who are playing custom games. I'm going to love this. I'm going to love that feature a lot since I'm downloading custom games in Forge on the Halo 5 on the PC, which essentially I'm going to be enjoying myself there, especially for fans who want to play Halo for free there. It'd be cool. And essentially it's something they need to do for Halo 6. I can't hope they add this. That's something that's going to bring the Halo community back, I think, because they'll be able to create matchmaking lists like the old rank system to try to cater to those old friends, old people who want to play those Halo games and essentially get them out. I think that's actually a quite cool idea. Overall, I think Microsoft is the main driver's seat to Halo now, unlike Bungie in the past. And I think Microsoft is getting a little power hungry or money hungry, whatever it be. They need to tone down their efforts a little bit to make money and instead need to work on developing these games better so they do make more money. As essentially they realize they're losing Halo to what's going on right now. And if they continue to go in the direction they're going to do, they're not going to have a lot of money left. Even with all these kind of bigger games coming on Xbox One, I think Halo was their major money maker. And without Halo, it's going to be a big hit for them. And they will not be able to keep up with PlayStation. And essentially in the console race, PlayStation is going to win and is winning at this point. Admittingly, PlayStation, you are doing better. I've always been loyal to Xbox. As much as I love PlayStation 2, I've been loyal to Xbox and been on their consoles for the longest time, mostly because of Halo. But Halo is going down, and without Halo, and then if I hear Jak and Daxter 4 comes out for PlayStation by a secret release by Naughty Dog, they instantly got a PlayStation 4 from me or whatever. I'm waiting to buy a PlayStation for that very reason, because that is actually one of the first games I ever played as a kid, and I enjoyed their games since like day one, and I've been waiting for them to do another. I played all of theirs just like I played all of Halo. I just hate how they're unintertwined. I can't wait for the future to where they'll finally start releasing everything on PC, and if that's the case, I'm going to be changing my 3-in-1 logo from PlayStation Xbox to PC to probably something like all-time PC gaming. I don't know. Get up with the dates and the times. But yeah, essentially right now I'm downloading Halo 5 Forge so I can get into some of the Halo stuff more, and I'm planning on doing a few Halo machinimas if theaters available on it and stuff like that. I'll definitely be spending some time forging. Me and my friends are planning a machinima that we're wanting to do. Worst case scenario, we'll be waiting till Halo 6 to do it, of course. But beyond that, we're here where we are, and yeah, so I have pre-ordered Halo Wars 2, so any of you out there who are wanting to see how Halo Wars 2 turns out before you purchase it, subscribe to 3-in-1, and you'll eventually get a review from me on it on first impressions. I've already played the beta, and I have to say it's phenomenal so far, but you never know what development changes will happen, and whether we'll have the same game in the future or not. We're going to be finding out in the next 4 months, I believe it was. It was releasing the 25th of January, I think, something like that. I'll have to look it back up, but it is coming next year after Christmas. I have it pre-ordered, and so I'm getting all the bonuses and stuff with it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that game and start downloading it and start playing it for you guys. And let alone with what they might supposedly do with the secret Halo 3 anniversary. If they do that, I'm not sure. Honestly, I think if they do that, what they should do is add an update to MCC, where it'll update the graphics. I think that's what they should do. Or maybe they should make it an entirely separate game. It would be kind of pointless for them to do that. But essentially, it might give people in the 360 a reason to move over to Xbox One, which is Microsoft's trying to do. But they need to just remember Microsoft. I think 343 understands that they need to get a full-fledged game. I think 343 is more passionate about Halo than we give it to. I think they understand. I think the fans aren't giving them enough credit than what they're getting with the tight squeeze Microsoft is giving them. I think that the marketing branch division of that is just putting a lot of stress on 343, and I don't think the Halo community needs to be getting mad at anyone at this point. And instead, we need to come together and do what we can to make Halo better and get our voices out to help them produce the game we best want. I think it's kind of clear now to them that we want, especially with Halo 4 being Halo Wars 2 being postponed from its original release date. I think they're beginning to understand that we want fleshed out and polished games. So this is something Late Night Gaming has mentioned, and I want to get on the boat on doing what I can for helping with the development for Halo 6. Officially, that's why I've uninstalled Halo 5, and to focus on Halo 6 for these very reasons, and also the upcoming Halo Wars 2. So this is my thoughts coming from a Halo fan since 2007. So I know I don't have as much to say from those since Combat Evolved, but I remember Halo 3 and I remember how well she played, and I miss the Halo community the way it was from then and Reach. It was at its best. In Halo 4 it was okay for a while, but then it died out. Well, guys, I think this is all that I had to talk about the Halo community today. I know it's just me sitting at a computer talking. I would appreciate a comment, like, subscribe, and your thoughts on today's video. If you guys have any opinions that differ from mine, or facts that I may have missed that I could have mentioned, it would be cool if you slap those in the comments below. And if you want to see more content about Halo, things coming from Minecraft and Subnautica at this current time, hit that subscribe button. It's right down below. It will be, obviously by the description, and you should know what to do if you know your way around YouTube. I really shouldn't have to spell it out, but I would appreciate loving a subscribe and join us, Static Gamers, in the future for calm, last gameplay instead of somebody screaming in your face all the time. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet, check out the Minecraft Survival number 6 that I've recently posted. Gunslinger has finally returned, and we did a video together. It was a miracle that I was able to recover that video, but it's one of the best videos. Also, don't forget to check out on my website and to sign up to the email newsletter for when we do tournaments. You can get cool prizes from that, and essentially I might do giveaways from that. By the way, we're 2 subscribers away from 50. I still haven't decided what I want to do for 50 subs video, so let me know if there's anything you want me to particularly do, and I will consider it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. This is Koga Jimente, signing out.